do you see? So where do you agree with this group, and where do you maybe disagree?
Because
I love the scholar conversation I'm hearing. Scholars using actual evidence for your justifications and writing complete sentences. It's okay for you and your teams to have the same answers. So when you're looking at this team's work, do they have is there any differences in their claims and yours? Do you agree? Awesome. So what, is there any evidence that you're looking for?
it is more protected than the animal cell. This evidence is important because it helps us see the difference between the Are there any flaws? Oh yes, we messed up right here, huh? Yeah, here, right there.
You have a minute and 20 seconds left.
4.
So looking at this team's work, do you agree or disagree with any part of their claim? And fully agree? Awesome. So now you're, like I just told this group, you're looking for new information that might make your argument even stronger. But what is that more information? What's something that you've learned from their team that you can bring back to your poster?
So they have 4 spelling errors that they can fix, and they should let them
We have a vest. You're going to write in what their claims are. So they're unknown. They think is an animal cell. So I should see right animal where it says A. And then cells B is a plant cell. You should write plant failure. C. And D. Good. Now these 3 questions. First of all, is there anything looking at their poster that you agree with or disagree with? So did they have a different claim than you? Or did you guys all agree on the same ones? Good. So then that's totally fine. Where did you disagree? That's what I would say here. So we disagree because we believe that, cell D is actually this. Okay, so that's what I should see you writing. Which one did they have a different opinion on? You said A was a plant cell? So you guys agree on C? You think you're all set? So you're right. So you would say here, we disagree because we think an A is an animal cell. Good, or plant cells. Good. So we disagree because that's fine. So we disagree because we think that A is a plant cell. If you're done early, double check that you and your teammates have fully completed this section. So next, since part of the same claim, is there any new evidence that you read that would make your claim even stronger? Because that's when you come back to your poster, you can add it in. So that's what you write here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I see some of us are still working a little bit more. We can afford 1 more minute, and then we're going to rotate. This seems looking really good. I've seen that we're ready to move on, but let's make sure that all of our teammates have this information. Looking at this poster, were there any slides that you disagree with? Or did you fully agree?
This is animal cell because if I flash the page, it looks like this, like one, and
okay, great. So I can see you fully filled that one in. Where you did agree, was there any new information that they provided that when you go back to your poster, you could add to it? Because you're looking to strengthen your arguments.
Well, we don't have these 3 pictures.
Okay, so looking from having those 3 pictures, is there any new evidence that you could pull?
No, because we also know that the plant cells are spiders and animal cells.
Okay, and where did you put that in? Okay, good. And if there's any last questions, thinking about that, or any other questions that you have, I would definitely write them in that section too. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please stand up, push your chairs in, and rotate to the next poster.
No, this is an animal cell, but this is a plant cell. And I know what the plants. I know. Okay. So what do we do? You write right here. Animal cell. And
Make sure that your article is ready to go. And write that in. We disagree because we think this is an animal because of this reason.
okay.
It's totally fine to have some information. But if there's enough evidence for like, you know what, I actually think it should be the other way, you can still change it when we go back.
Okay. Unknown P is a plant cell. We observed that unknown P, unknown D, and unknown A or different from animal cells. A pattern we observe.
What do we agree with?
We agree with unknown cell A only. They put plant, animal, plant, animal. Yeah, plant, animal. Which can we we agree with unknown bees and unknown B and unknown C are correct. Plant cells are smaller than animal cells. Plant cells are smaller than unknown B and C are correct because they're in the first one. They had the same results, right? So they had only A, except for like the last three. Unknown A is the only one that's wrong, right? Right. The only one that's right.
How can we improve our claim?
Make sure that you're writing that down because you can use that to strengthen your claim on your poster. Are there any cells that you disagree with?
Yeah, this one.
All right. So why do you disagree?
Because it's not an animal cell.
So why I would write in your packet why you disagree. So you think it's a plant cell because you see that there's cell walls. Is there any other evidence that you would use?
I think they're more in the back.
Good. So they're more together and organized. There's cell walls. Is there any like I'm hearing you talk about the structure is what I'm hearing. So write that in, right where it says where you disagree and why. Why do you disagree? All of the things that you just listed, that was awesome. Make sure to include that. One more minute, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you're going through each question for this team's poster.
D is lit cell because the pictures and cell wall I agree with that.
You're super new.
No one?
So first list their claims for A, B, C, and D.
B, A, B, C, and D.
Not their claims. You know what? The G castle lamb.
So this can be the claim for like.
Wait, what's wrong? What does that say?
But the G claims the G
Castle lamb.
castle where?
Wait, y'all wrote their last name. You wrote the G castle lamb.
The G castle.
Where's their claim?
They don't have one. Why should this is the claim like? No, that's
not
the
the
claim
last
for unknown. Oh, just. This is wrong because they think A is an animal cell. What? Wait, did we get this? Unknown C was wrong.
But that was
unknown C animal. This one was the
No, this is a plant cell.
All three of these were plant cells.
They got it right though.
This one's not right.
Oh.
The blocky has so.
That's gonna help you strengthen, or maybe you wanna change your biggest efforts, or like you want why can you say that, you know what, actually, this is breast cancer, this is
Are you sure that disease doesn't run through the
Sometimes they have
Kind of diabetes is.
just sometimes.
Yeah. Was it? Okay, then. They got it right. You said C was at home, but all of them were plant.
Which one are you gonna do? Okay, so circle.
Wait, for this one? That was plant, animal,
Just to make sure it's written down. Do you have any disagreements with this poster, or do you want to go with each of their claims?
Wait, who has the
What information does affect your poster? Because you're gonna get turned around in 1 minute. So is there any new evidence? Write it here. So look here from this, see if there's any evidence or do you see maybe through our rotations, is there any kind of it? You know what? I kind of want to change our.
I know, that's not.
Yeah. So look at 1 more minute, look carefully over their reasoning and their Venn diagram. I want you to record anything else and take it back to your poster. Looking for any new evidence.
Like where my
What you want? Oh yeah, camera serious.
Last 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. All right, please push your chairs in and go back to your team seats. Please end the extra noise. Thank you. You have 10 seconds to be back in your seats. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You're in your team seats. In 3, you're in your team seats. In 2, and 1. Please turn to the next page. Now that you've had some time to go and observe other projects and compare them to your answers, your claims, you're going to get some time to revise your final guesses. But here's some work to help, or space to process that. On the top of this worksheet, I want you to write down as a team, what were some interesting ideas that you had from other groups? So maybe it's something that you didn't think of before, or it's maybe a disagreement. Any ideas? And then questions you have about your project. When you're done with this table on top, go back to your poster and make any last changes, either adding more evidence or changing one of your claims. Can someone please repeat to me, what are we doing first? Raise of hands, what are we doing first? Melissa?
Interesting ideas.
Interesting ideas and questions that you have for your group. Then what are you going to do? You're going to use that time to do what with your posters?
Edit it.
Raise of hands. I heard edit it. How will you edit your poster? Raise an E. Evidence. Adding evidence. Why would you add evidence? So to make your claim poster stronger. Good. Or If you want to add evidence to then change your claim, you can do that as well. Thank you very much, Alexis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have 5 minutes. Go.
We have questions for other groups. What did you like from other?
So I should see a question right now on this top right here.
Said try to not make a lot of studies.
Move on then to your class discussion.
Try to write neither.
No, fun.
No, we need your
So were there any ideas that came up when you were seeing the other projects?
Yeah.
What?
We think this one's a cat cell now.
Why?
Because it has a cell wall.
Okay. So once you write that in, when are you going to change that? That's fine. You could. It's okay.
I have to redo everything.
No, you don't. It's okay. Well, actually, just pass it off, and you can even explain with the bullet point that you can evidence it because there's a cell wall. That's totally, yeah, totally fine. Okay. So once I think because you're already done with that portion, go ahead and start working on making that change. And make sure you record that in your packet. Okay. Do you agree as a team that you want to change, or do you want to keep it? The answer. It does look beautiful, but that's okay. You know what? Here instead, you can just put a line through it, and then you can just put plant up here instead. Okay? Cool. But make sure you have your evidence on why you're going to change it now. Then make sure you write that down. You want to push for 2. So there's another reason why.
They're organized.
So write that in.
Eric, Kevin, write down the neatest here.
I'd like you to put from new specific evidence we are now saying that it is a plant cell.
Yeah, put that. No, put plant cell right here.
One more minute, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to make any changes to your poster, please make sure you're doing that now. Otherwise, finish your class discussion question on the bottom of this page. Let's discuss right now those questions. Number 1, how did your group come up with your claim? Can I get a volunteer, please, to explain how did your group decide on the claims that you had? What was your process? Alondra?
The paper that you gave us with the images, we looked and we compared these images to the images on the paper, and we looked at the parts inside.
You looked at the parts in the cells, and then how did you determine what was a plant cell and what was an animal cell? What was your process?
By comparing both of the pictures.
And what was that detail then that you were looking for that says, yes, this is a plant cell, or yes, this is an animal cell?
The size and how it was organized, like if it had a cell wall or something.
Okay. Scholar snacks? Anyone else want to join into that question? How did the team find their claim? Okay. I'll get, yes?
Our team found our, okay. So, our team came up with our claim, with our evidence and reasons that we had on ourselves, on ourselves.
How did you do that? What was your process of figuring out like which one was a plant cell, which one was an animal cell?
When the paper they gave us about how animal cells and plant cells look like.
Okay. And what was your qualifier? What did you do that was like, yes, this is a plant cell because of this reason? Okay, so you're saying I'm hearing the shape as your qualifier, your evidence. Good. Scholar snaps. Let me hear. Let me see it. Let me see. Thank you. All right, let's move on to our next question. How did you decide what type of evidence? So we actually kind of just talked about that. We're looking for, you're comparing it, looking at the cells. You were finding those pieces of evidence that were like definitely specific or unique to a plant or animal cell. So now let's go to this last question, because I'm really curious about what you saw after seeing your other groups. What information did you gather from other teams? Was there something, that evidence that made your argument stronger? Or was there evidence that made you want to change your claim? I want to hear from two groups, please. What was new information that you found after going through the different gallery or the gallery walk? New evidence that you found that either made your argument stronger or made you want to change one of your claims. Don't be shy. I heard a lot of great conversation. I've talked with a lot of teams about this, their new evidence as well. You can look back through your packet as well. Looking at your table, what information did you find?
What do you mean by information?
New evidence that you copied down that was like, yeah.
Because we thought it was an animal cell, then we're thinking back that it's probably a plant cell because of the cell.
Good, so that was that new evidence that you found. Excellent. Scholar Snaps. One more group. What's the new evidence? It could be something that maybe made you strengthen your argument. You're like, yes, I know this is an animal cell even more now because of this evidence that another team found. Okay, take a moment, go back through your notes, go back through your table. If we're going to get one more team, then go ahead and share out any new evidence that you found. See Isabel slipping through her pages, so is Alondra looking back at her observations. Virgilio's going back through his pages as well. That second question of any new evidence that you could find to strengthen your claim. Look through here. What did you write down today? The new evidence. I see a lot of great things written down. Let's get one more share out. Got a lone proton point waiting for that brave volunteer. Yes, Melissa?
Animal cells are bigger than plants.
Okay, so you noticed, and that's a trend that we're going to talk about. Thank you for sharing. But I noticed a lot of us observed, and we're going to explore that further to really test out and see if that's a good qualifier. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to reveal, to find out your answer? Yes, no, maybe so? Yes. Oh, you want to wait till Monday? Okay, fine. Yes. No? All right. So, here are our answers. While I'm showing you, if you have any last proton points, please make sure to put them in the bucket because we will have our raffle. But our first cell is a plant cell.
We got that right.
Yes.
Cell B is a plant cell. Cell C is an animal cell. And cell D is a plant cell. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud of the work that I saw. You were challenging your thinking.
told you guys.
Excuse me, hi.
Told me, told you.
Oh wait.
Actually, you two told me.
You did a really great job of challenging your thinking and using evidence to back up your claims. Well done. In order to be dismissed for today, here's what I need from you. Your posters are going to be piled on this table, and I need both of your packets from yesterday and today, so both lab packets from this investigation. Your exit ticket is the last page here. So once you finish your exit ticket, you may come drop off your packets from both days. While you're doing that, I will pull our winners for this week's raffle. If you have a proton point, make sure to drop them off.
Did I do good today?
You did awesome.
Alright.
Day 2, day 1.
No, I deserve my. I got my jigsaw tape. I just see.
All right, last call for proton points. All right. Drum roll, please.